high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Yeah, boom to the hey, all you sports fans out there in the tubosphere, to you, the individuals, part of a collective. Welcome to the OMSR Gen 5.0 with your brief but very concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. Doing a little quickie voiceover cover, intro show thing-a-ling-a-majing. So just a voiceover. The 4 episodes on a whole, you know where you are based on the title, but it is somewhat limited on YouTube. The MLB side of things, got Donaldson and Trout, and some MLB dads being some major league dummies, in my opinion. Taking your kids to the ball game doesn't mean taking the baby. NFL, really cool stuff there. Odell Beckham doing some waza. And Aaron Rodgers, of course, Odell's out on NFL management's favorite players list. And then, of course, NBA from the playoffs. Chris Paul having his ankles broke. Never thought that would happen. By Seth Curry from the tournament. Great little soccer bit. And, of course, all done by only the way ESPN Sports Science can. By Dr. Pro Tam John Brinkus. Also included the sponsor. They paid big bucks for this. Plays from the air. It's a good little bit. Sometimes at the beginning, sometimes in the middle. Give it a chance if you're watching all 4. Hear it out. Good little service. A lot of you may want to take, or partake rather, of its useful info. 21st century creativity and access to knowledge. Alright. Thanks for watching. Roll clips.
Welcome to the ESPN Sports Science NFL Plays of the Year, presented by 23andMe, bringing the world of genetics to you. The NFL's top talents take flight, extend to new heights, and flip the script on what it means to put up 6. From Aaron and Amendola to Brown and Beckham to the Legion of Boom, and it's ruled a touchback. And field goal dude. We're analyzing the season's most jaw-dropping game changers. What a play at the buzzer! Because when the game's best players light it up, science can break it down. I'm John Brinkus, and these are the ESPN Sports Science NFL Plays of the Year. We'll start with 2 of the top playmaking wideouts in the NFL doing what they do best, scoring out-of-this-world TDs. And since no score is complete without a celebration, our first play comes from Pittsburgh receiver and sports science alum, Antonio Brown. The Steelers wideout scored a 56-yard TD against the Browns and punctuated it with some end zone acrobatics. One of Brown's most dangerous weapons is his acceleration. When we put him through ESPN Sports Science testing, he was able to cover the first 5 yards off the line in less than a second. That's an acceleration on par with one of the quickest players in the league, Brandon Cooks. And that elite burst was on full display against Cleveland after receiving the 48-mile-an-hour strike from Ben Roethlisberger. For the next 25 yards, Brown has a running lane that's wider than an Olympic track. But even with this lateral space, Brown still has to outrun DB Johnson Bonamosi to take it the distance, averaging a full stride per second more than the defender. Brown is able to finally break away by hitting a blistering top speed of nearly 22 miles per hour. And once he hits the goal line, Brown pushes off the ground with more than 5 times his own body weight, nearly half a ton of force. This sends him airborne for more than 7/10 of a second. That's longer than an Olympic gymnast is typically in the air during a double twist. And like a gymnast performing a flip, Brown tucks his arms and legs as soon as he leaves the ground. This reduces his moment of inertia, or his body's resistance to rotation, and allows him to spin at more than 400 degrees per second. And although he absorbs nearly 500 pounds of force when he comes down, Brown sticks the landing. Next up is fellow ESPN Sports Science alum and freak of nature, Odell Beckham Jr., who dominated a defender with his non-dominant hand. In Week 12, OBJ made an absurd full extension grab against the Redskins. Eli Manning releases the pass when Beckham is still a foot behind defensive back Will Blackman. But Beckham outruns Blackman by an average of 1.2 miles per hour over the next 50 feet to get about 2 feet in front of him before extending. And because we immediately begin decelerating once we leave the ground, while still in the propulsion phase of the stride, Beckham extends his left hand to 7 feet 9 inches. Now, Beckham, like 90% of the population, is a natural righty, but he's been known to frequently practice his left-handed motor skills. In fact, in the lab, he even showed off his ability to throw lefty. Practicing off-handed dexterity keeps both hemispheres of the brain activated, and over time, can make one ambidextrous. In this play, Beckham is able to control the ball with his left hand, decelerating it from 37 to 10 miles per hour in about 0.03 of a second. He gets his other hand on the ball to secure an amazing 6 points. Odell Beckham Jr. was able to make the catch despite crashing into the ground with about half a ton of force. That's a collision on par with a hard hockey check.
This is a story about you, the incredible you. It starts with your DNA, your 23 pairs of chromosomes that make you who you are. 23andme.com is a genetic service where you can receive personalized reports online about your health, traits, and ancestry. See how your 23 pairs of chromosomes help tell the story of one incredible you. Order your DNA kit today at 23andme.com.
But that wasn't the only surreal catch OBJ made this season. It seemed like every game, he made a grab that was even better than the last. And in fact, in Week 14 against the Dolphins, for a change, his handiwork was overshadowed by his footwork.
How does he catch these footballs?
To make the game-tying catch in the third quarter, Beckham Jr. keeps his eyes locked on the ball while running at 13 miles per hour. His awareness of the sideline is dependent on what's known as place cells, which create a cognitive map of the environment, improving spatial awareness. This allows him to make the catch while keeping his feet in bounds by the width of a ref's whistle. And with hands the size of NBA center Dwight Howard's, Beckham is able to maintain control of the ball even after it smashes into the turf with more than 600 pounds of force. That play and the infamous Hail Mary both happened in the same end zone, less than 20 feet apart. Apparently, in this area, the rules of football seem to mysteriously vanish. Call it Seattle's 13th man. During our next turnover, the physics get a little different as we go from knocking a ball out of a player's hand to batting a ball out of the air. In Week 12 against Cleveland, Baltimore pulled off an unbelievable last-second win by blocking a field goal and taking it to the house for a kick six. On the Browns' attempted game-winning 51-yard field goal, Travis Coons launches the ball at a 22-degree angle, about 20 degrees lower than optimal. This allows 6'7" Brent Urban to block it, decelerating the ball by 65% and changing its vector by about 90 degrees. Will Hill picks up the ball just 0.2 of a second before our Monty Bryant tries to grasp it, which delays Bryant enough to put him out of position for a tackle. And with 4 blockers in front of him, Hill eventually accelerates to 20 miles per hour and scores the walk-off touchdown. Based on our calculations, Coons didn't kick it hard enough to clear the goalpost from 51 yards. In fact, because of the ball's low 22-degree launch angle, it would have had to come off his foot about 10% faster. Coming up, we'll analyze 2 of the game's strongest arms and some OMG TDs. The ESPN Sports Science NFL plays